What is up, guys? Welcome to another Mixed Martial Idiots podcast. We're previewing a fight that I'm so excited that's happening. I really wanted to see Anthony Fluffy Hernandez against RDR. That fell through, and we got an even better fight. An even better fight. We got Sean Strickland, Anthony Hernandez. The guys are here to tell you all about the card and much more. Tanner Francisco, Dunphy, George, the super fan, Novo. What's up, boys?
Cain Velasquez is released from prison today. Let's start off there. Fucking
You're so
cardio
excited
Cain's
to
free.
say that.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy for that man. He
He
shouldn't
didn't even
have
say
been
hi.
locked up to begin with. He should not. Like, I get it. We talked about it a little bit. Yeah, you can't go shooting your gun in the middle of the street when it's busy on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. But also, that guy deserved the mag dump towards him
He
and
did.
on him. But we won't get into all that. We won't give that any attention. Cardio Cain is free. And hopefully we get to see some cool shit out of that man. I mean, he's past his prime. His knees are not there anymore for fighting in the UFC, but I would love to see him do anything. You put
Coach
that man
Cain.
you put in him disc golfing, and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna tune in for that. All right.
And
Y'all
you
see
can't
that
tell
man
me
right there? He did that to that man right there.
Mm-hmm.
and you
many
can't tell
others.
me that there's not a gym full of kids at AKA that won't benefit from Cain Velasquez being in
Yes.
there. So whatever
Absolutely.
he does, whatever he touches, man, it's just going to turn to gold. That's a genuine human being, and you love to see him thrive.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with his body of work, do yourself a favor, watch the trilogy fight with JDS.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. The first one he gets put down, and it was one of those stoppages where you're like, ah, dang, that could have kept going, whatever. And JDS was a scary mofo at the time. And then the second and third fight, I said throughout both of those fights, oh my God, I'm going to watch a man die on TV.
yeah, it
Like,
was
I
rough.
thought I was watching a literal murder on TV. He just beat the brakes off of JDS. He wanted to make sure everybody knew that that was a fluke and he was way better than him. Do yourself a favor, watch some of that. It's fucking awesome. Glad that he is free. Uh, let's move on from Cardio Cain. George is giving him props there with his background. I got a little Cain Velasquez Championship Edition up there. Uh, in case you're available, you got extra screens. Zuffa Boxing is on right now. I don't know anybody on this fucking card. I don't know if you guys do.
I do not. I know one of the kids in the main event comes from a Roy Jones Jr. camp, but I'm so uninformed. I don't know which one, so I don't want to shout out the wrong guy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But what is that on? That's on Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's on
believe so.
Paramount Plus. So if you're free, you got an extra screen to tune in while you're watching this, do it. Any fights are good. Let's move off of that. I want to talk about UFC BJJ 5, which happened Thursday, February 12th. It was free on YouTube, and we had some decent matches happen throughout it. We had Harrison Gabriel, who lost the inaugural belt to Mikey Musumeci. He fought on this card and won, defeated Landon Elmore, who's a young up-and-comer, really good, by unanimous decision. We had a Yanatis Gracie, defeating Jan Lucas at 170, unanimous decision. We had a black belt versus a purple belt, by the way.
Black belt?
Yes, black belt. Rebecca Lima, the Brazilian black belt, took out Taylor Hishaw at 145 with an Estima lock in round 2.
Oh, I saw that. Owie. It was disgusting. It came on so fast, too.
So fast.
She predicted where she was going to defend and just caught it in the defense.
Yep. Caught it as it was coming out.
Do yourself a favor and look that up if you're a leg locker. That was tremendous awareness.
Be aware that
for sure.
Estima locks
for
are
sure.
so quick. They come on so fast, out of nowhere, and they hurt like crazy. I think you wrapped up an Estima lock on me one time, and I was like, I'm not tapping into this shit. And then for like 2 weeks later, I was limping. I was like, that shit. My pride got in the way.
Walter Walker seemed puzzled that he couldn't grab an Achilles.
Yes, we're gonna get on that one. Andy Murasaki armbarred Andy Varela in round 1.
Poor dude. Andy Varela is so good.
Andy Varela is so good, man. He's a hell of an MMA fighter and a hell of a grappler. And Andy Murasaki made it look like he was not. That armbar came on, and Andy Varela tried to get out of it. There was nothing he could do. Murasaki is the real deal. So looking forward to seeing more out of him. We had the return of Nicholas Mergali. Nicholas Mergali beat Nicholas Magalikic from Australia, and it was Magalikic ran at him to start it off, and you could see Mergali's face was like, "What the fuck is this? I'm not prepared." But he weathered the storm and he took over and he won the unanimous decision, which was great to see. We haven't seen him compete for 2 years. He's been out. He had to have surgery on his shoulder, I believe.
My favorite Nicholas Marigelli match was when he lost to Rafael Lovato Jr.
He beat Rafael Lovato Jr. too, though.
He beat him in the ADCs before that, ADCCs the year before, and it was like a who's number one or whatever, and Rafael got him or something. Or
Yeah,
UFC BJJ? Was it that?
No, he hasn't been active for UFC, but he's been out for the last two.
Yeah, I know his last time he faced Lovato actually got him. It was a decision, but you know what? I'll take it.
Okay. Are you sure that was him and not the Giancarlo Bodoni you're thinking of?
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yep,
Yeah.
not Marigelli. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yes, it's Bodoni. I cannot stand
Bodoni's really
Giancarlo.
good, though.
He's so
He's
good,
so
but he's
good.
such a butthead.
Yeah,
He's
fair.
so cocky.
Well, in this community, it seems to be a common thing that people are buttheads. So we had Ronaldo Souza Jr., not Jacare, getting the unanimous decision and getting the title at 185 over Terakopsik. And then for the main event on this, we had Mikey Musumeci defending his title against Jay Montague at 135, getting a footlock at round two. I believe it was an Estima as well, actually. And no, it was an ankle from outside Ashi, straight ankle from outside Ashi. And when he shot
Dude must be strong.
well, he's tiny little
Strong,
Mikey,
strong.
Darth Rigatoni. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that? How jacked that dude is?
He's so shredded.
He's so shredded and jacked for one. That's as much as you can fit in 135. That's it. And man, it looked so he tried to play top game this entire match, and then you could tell when he shot for this, he was just done. He's like, I'm tired. I'm gonna finish this. It looked when he got it, it looked like he could have gotten it the entire time. And with how easy he flowed right into it and snatched it up and finished it. It was one of those like, oh, you were just playing with your food, trying to show off stuff. But
Yeah, he does that a lot. But the only thing it's not the only thing I'll say for Mikey. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's kind of like a virtuoso of this time. If Mikey Musumeci was 185 pounds, a lot of guys would be fucked.
100%.
He's so talented in what he does, so I'm not downgrading. But the thing that I love the most about him is what he did afterwards is when he stepped up and called out Armin Sarukian, a guy 3 weight classes ahead of him.
Yes.
Instead of, like a Colby Covington coming out to like, hey, Patty, won't you fight me?
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stand that shit. So Mikey
Yeah.
has bigger balls.
Weight
than Colby
bullies
Covington.
drive me crazy, and I love to see something like that with Mikey, where he's like, no, give me the heavy guy. Give me the heavy guy that's got good grappling. I'll fucking take his leg off.
He used our old bar line. I want the big one.
Yeah.
Give me the big one.
Let's move off of what you got, George.
Listening to Mikey when he gives his post-fight interviews, that guy is like if Dominic Cruz and Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory had a love child. Listen to him break it down.
facts.
He has not a touch of the tism. He is the tism.
He is he has all of it. When they were putting the tism into that one, the lid fell off.
Yes.
And the whole jar came into it. And thank God, because we got an amazing grappler out of it,
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's move on to I want to recap one Fight Night 40. Just a little bit of it because there was some cool shit and some good fighters that fought on this that I did not realize were. Fabricio Andre took out Yao Mendez. Well, not took out. He defeated him. It was a unanimous decision. It was a grappling match at 155. Fabricio Andre is a phenomenal grappler. We've seen him all across the board. Then in MMA, we had Lucas Gabriel getting the unanimous decision over Magomed Akayev at 170. Baby Lee, Adrian Lee, at 170, getting the TKO over Shojo Izojima in round 1 with some elbows and then punches from mount. Ben Tynan, that jacked, weird Canadian blonde guy. I'm sure you've
Yeah,
seen.
I know the one.
You know
I know
exactly.
the one.
It's he won first round heavyweight arm triangle choke
Uh-huh.
against Ryugi Takeuchi. Then I'll read off the co-main and main. Nico Carrillo defended his title against Shadao Singmangyan. This was a
You're
Muay Thai
getting better
bout
at
at
that.
155. I was just rolling with it, you know.
That went with that sounded good.
I don't know if
I
it
was
was right.
I was like, that's totally a fucking dude. Like,
That's his name.
that's definitely that guy.
Then the main event, Stella Himmelsberger got the split decision victory over Jackie Buntan. Buntan was the former champ. Stella Himmelsberger has now won the 125 kickboxing championship or flyweight championship for one. This happened Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's move on to an event that happened earlier on Friday, or started earlier on Friday.
Monster
6
Cock
p.m.
Wonton Rapper versus Wen Dragon.
Oh no. Oh no. We have Karate Combat 59. In Karate Combat, I'm not going to cover all these because why? I watched them, but there's a few I'll cover. We'll talk about Malcolm Schuler or Skyler Wing C. He was on this card. It was his Karate Combat debut, and he won first round TKO over Jaden Lee.
Beat that ass.
Yes, he did. The
That
kid is
kid-
hard to tolerate, but he does have skills. There's no denying
Mhm.
it. He does have skills. He's just got that young kid YouTuber attitude, which a lot of us older fighters and train, we don't like that. We like the respect aspect. We don't like you being fucking weird like that. I don't know how else to put it.
He
Too
asked the
much Jake
kid.
Paul, not enough Joshua Van.
You're right.
Yeah.
He asked the kid before the fight. He said, "Are you ready to be a stepping stone in my story?"
Yeah,
Wow.
he says shit like that.
I hear that, and I root for the other guy, just like
Yeah.
Tanner's saying. Like I just immediately detach
can't help
from
it.
him,
I can't help
and I'm
it.
like, I hope he gets smoked.
Dude, that's like White Goodman vibes. I feel like
It's
nobody
very-
makes me bleed my own blood.
Well, he acts like he's in an anime, and that's I wish that was me just like hyping it. No, he acts like he's in an anime. That is his shtick, is to act like he's in an anime, to act like he's like a big live streamer. He's addressing chat the whole time. It's a bit obnoxious, but it is entertaining. I'll give him
And
that.
it's worked.
It's entertaining. It's worked. He is constantly in motion when he's fighting, which is great style.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to watch. So
You know who else does that? He should meet MVP.
he'd get fucked up. He's at 135.
Oh,
MVP.
even better.
I said we
even
can't say
better.
this on air, but that's victim weight for MVP. All right.
Yeah, for MVP. Yeah. Yeah. Bantamweight better not try to run that mouth against MVP. That's bad news bears.
All right. Let's move on to way later in this card. Uriah Hall is back, boys. Uriah Hall is back.
His jiu-jitsu is just terrible, bud. His
It
wrestling
doesn't
and
matter. He's in Karate Combat now.
That's what I'm saying. If this organization or a platform like this existed his entire career, he would rule it.
Yeah, he's
But-
about to rule it right now.
That is why, guys, if you're like us and you hit hard and you have pretty decent timing and you can grapple a little bit, definitely don't kickbox a guy like that. Throw him on his head because you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
100%. Can you guess how he won?
Spinning back kick.
To the liver. Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was one of those ones where he defeated Jaden Inode, by the way.
He's very good.
He's very good. And he's a beast. He's a tank. Just a big 205er. And Uriah Hall, Jaden threw that spinning back kick on Uriah Hall, missed.
Oh
then you could
no.
tell Uriah was like, all right, well, I'm going to show you how it's done. Waited
Mm.
till it was perfect, landed it clean. Jaden folded and then went, no, I'm good. I can do this. Came back up, and then that 2-second delay hit him. And he
Mhm.
went, oh, no. And then
Dude.
Uriah followed up. It was nasty.
A sidebar on that shot. I broke one of Greg Adams' ribs with that kick, and he still sparred the entire 9 o'clock to
That's
10
insane.
a.m. hour. It
Yeah.
was the first round of sparring. I broke his rib, and he fought for 47 minutes roughly after that with
Yeah,
a
problem.
broken rib. That is a tough human being. Anyway, that's
Oh.
awesome for Uriah Hall. Shout out Greg Adams, you damn dog.
Yes. All right. So in our co-main, we had the vacant strawweight championship for the women's, which is 115, and Elisandra Ferreira won that over Monica Chakoliva. Hmm.
Chalky milk.
Chachlikova.
There
Chachlikova.
we go. There we
Yes.
go.
I feel pretty confident in how I said that. I watched this bout. I watched it when it happened, and then I watched it recently, like today. Don't know why I couldn't pronounce that. But anyways, Alessandra won the vacant strawweight belt. And then in our main event, Walter Walker gets the rear naked choke over Zion Clark after trying a heel hook on a man with no legs.
Was that not the funniest shit you've ever seen?
It was the puzzled look after he tried to rip a heel hook on something that wasn't there.
He threw Ashi on a no-legged man and then sold the confused look like a Emmy Award winning actor, dude. And then he proceeded to taunt the poor fella and then strangled the shit out of him with no remorse. Walter
Also,
Walker,
Zion
like-
tried to ankle lock him. Did you catch that?
yes.
He tried to straight ankle lock him with nothing to pin, just with arms, nothing to pin the leg, nowhere.
And
What do you
shame
do?
on the guy who told him that would work. Because you know
Uh-huh.
somebody he trains with was like, do it like this. You'll get him. You'll never expect it. Shame on you, bro. What are you doing?
Oh man. Well, it was the spectacle we all thought it was going to be. You know, did you see Walter Walker called out his brother after the bout? He said, "Come up to heavyweight."
Dude,
It was hard to understand him, but
So he did that, and then his brother clapped back with, "This guy is a disgrace. How you strangle a man with no legs?" They have to be the funniest brothers
Oh
in
my
MMA,
God.
like hands down. The last time he was in Walter's corner, they read the verdict and he celebrated, and then they fought each other in the octagon. They were grappling in there, so they
yes.
got to be like the sometimes you'll have a question, it'll be like different fighters on different seats of a bus. Where would you sit? I'm sitting in the row with the Walker brothers. I might get fucked up,
100%.
whatever, but I know whatever happens is going to be fun as hell. Those dudes are awesome.
Yes. All right. That's enough of the random miscellaneous bullshit. Let's move on to the UFC Fight Night we've got coming up. Strickland versus Hernandez this Saturday, February 21st, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Paramount Plus. It takes place in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center, in case anybody was curious about that. Before we jump into it, we had a few fights fall off and people get replaced. So let's talk about that really quick. We had Mr. Van Zant, Austin Vanderford, was supposed to fight on this card, and he had to withdraw. There's no reason for why he withdraw, but he was supposed to fight Jean-Paul Lebensonier. Jean-Paul is now fighting Phil Rowe. Hell of a replacement. And then Jacob Smith was supposed to fight Sakyon Ko, but Kyo got a rib injury. And stepping in his place is a person who is supposed to make his debut 3 years ago, Josiah Harrell. He was originally supposed to, let's talk about this man real quick before we get into the card. Harrell was supposed to make his debut against a then to be future champ in Jack Della Maddalena. But there was some pre-fight scans they did of Josiah Harrell and his brain, and they discovered a rare brain disorder. Josiah then had to have surgery on his brain and was not able to fight again until 2025. And in 2025, he went on a tear, defeating Quentin Parks Jr., Melvin Gillard, and Keegan Ginrich. And then January 16th of this year in LFA, he defeated somebody where so bad that their corner threw in the towel.
Damn.
He was whooping their ass that bad. So now he's coming on to make his official UFC debut after he was supposed to debut in 2023. Happy to see everything is okay with this guy. And man, I expect this to be a good bout. Harrell is 11-0, and he's fighting Jacob Smith, who is also 11-0. This is going to be a fun one. Harrell is a striker. He's got 6 wins by knockout out of those 11s. And then Jacob Smith, also a striker, 8 wins by knockout or TKO out of his 11. So that's one to look out for. But let's jump into the main card, or jump into the start of the card with a prelim bout in the women's flyweight division at 125. We have Carly Judice taking on Will's girl, Juliana Juju Miller. I'm going with Carly on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, dude. Juliana Miller, I do love Juliana Miller. She's got that 10th planet jiu-jitsu and she uses it. She has actually pretty decent wrestling. That was her weakest point when she started in MMA, right? And she's really addressed it, grinding on the mats. What makes me worried in this fight is Carly Judice is solid everywhere. Her anti-grappling is really good. Takedown defense is really good. She's nasty in the clinch. And her striking is mean. She can go southpaw, orthodox. The pressure's good. She's got a really good gym around her. This is a fight I think Juliana Miller can win, but she's going to have to make it a dog fight. She's going to have to get right in Carly Judice's face, not give her space to execute her striking. She's not going to have to she's going to have to not let her get started. If Carly gets started, man, she's like a freight train. She comes downhill. I think Carly's going to get this done, but I am a Juliana fan. I'm going to be pulling for Juliana. I told you guys when we started this, I'm not going to fence sit, and I'm also not going to pick a fighter to win because I love them. And Carly Judice is going to go in there and get a lot of work done early, I think.
Yeah, I think Juliana Miller, she needs to get it to the ground as quick as possible. And
she's got to make it nasty.
Black belt. Yeah. George? She is a black belt, right? I know she's 10th planet, but yeah, yep. Okay.
Juliana Miller was last seen in May of 25 with a decision win over Ivana Petrovich. She is able to strike, but unfortunately for her, she's stepping into the cage with a raging Cajun buzzsaw. Carly Judice is going to land that liver shot or that jaw punch, and she's going to put that on a crack-a-dude, and it's going to be over.
On a crack-a-dude?
So I'm going to say Judice with a double chance on that bet, either TKO or decision.
All 3 of us going Judice on this one. All right.
There's probably some safe money in that. Juliana's been off for a hot minute too, and Carly fights all the time.
Carly hits so hard too.
So hard.
And her she's 5-2. Her only 2 losses were so close. Her first loss was Contender Series, and she got a contract off of that. And it was a split decision loss. And then her first fight in the UFC, fight of the night, split decision loss. I mean, and then she's went on to then proceed to get a fight of the night in every single one of her fights.
Yeah. So Vegas hasn't released any odds yet, not that I see on that fight, but look for Judice to come in as a heavy favorite. There's probably not a lot of money to be made on that.
If she's not a favorite,
then
the
round.
Go for it.
She's going to be the favorite. But unless you pick the round and the finish, you're not going to make any money. It's going to be a parlay piece, guys.
I have her as a on Tapology. It has her as a -400 favorite. That makes sense. Let's talk about this next one. Curious what y'all think. We have Jordan Levitt taking on Yadier Del Val. Jordan Levitt is a legit jiu-jitsu fighter. Um, Yadier Delval has that questionable rear naked choke in his last bout against Isaac Delgarian. Um,
The no longer employed Isaac Bulgarian.
yes, I'm I'm on the fence on this one. Yadier's a heavy favorite. He's also a minus 400 favorite. Uh, I don't know. I
Carly's
think,
updated to minus 700, by the way.
God
Ooh,
dang.
There's
I
no
think,
money. Pick the round, pick the finish.
oh man, this is a tough one. This is the one that I just am not sure of. I'm gonna go with Yadier Delval, but I wouldn't be surprised if Levitt is able to kind of stop most of what Delval does. This one I would not bet on personally, even though if I did bet on it, it would be on like an underdog parlay.
Yeah,
Who's the
exactly. On
dog?
my alternate
Jordan
slip,
Levitt.
I'm having Levitt by submission or decision on the alternate.
Levitt's like a plus 300 dog.
Yeah.
I smell money, guys. Levitt is going to be good where Del Valle is going to get tired. Let me say that again. He's not going to be good where Del Valle is bad because Del Valle is an okay grappler. He's pretty decent. He's going to be there. He's going to be great in a situation where Del Valle is going to be tired in. Del Valle carries a lot of muscle, a lot of mass. He cuts a lot of weight to get to featherweight. Jordan Levitt, he's not a jacked guy. He stays kind of around that featherweight limit, but he grapples 7 days a week. His clinch game is okay.
Oh no, Levitt's
Yeah.
going down.
Levitt
Levitt was
went
fighting at 55,
55. Yes.
and now he's going down to 45 for this.
Yes. And he's got a decent wrestling game. I mean, I just look for, unless Del Valle catches him on the way in, I don't look for it to be close after the halfway mark of the first round. I look for Del Valle to have a couple big moments early with that big power and explosiveness. Maybe he defends the first takedown. Maybe he gets out of the second attempt for a takedown. But by the halfway point of the second round, Jordan Levitt will be firmly in control of that fight. Put him on
Yeah,
your underdog slip.
I think if we make it through the halfway point of the fight, which would be the halfway point of the second round, my pick is on Jordan Levitt at that point. George?
Yadier Del Valle versus Jordan Levitt. Let's see. The unbeaten Cuban who's all hype and no losses versus the Monkey King who twerks after wins and submits fools weirder than a Salvador Dali painting. I think Levitt's the ultimate troll fighter. He'd hump your leg mid-fight if it meant he'd get the win. Del Valle's perfect record, some people say it's against Canes. This could be his reality check. Hilarious prediction on this. I say Levitt pulls off a twerk submission combo that breaks the internet. My pick, Levitt by submission in round 3. His BJJ is too creative and too weird for Del Val's straightforward game.
I don't think that's a bad pick.
That's an expert analysis right there.
I want so badly to say Jordan Levitt. I've just been let down by Levitt in the past.
But I will say this on my main pick where I bet all the card on just straight money line. Yadier is my pick, but on my other alternate slip, Levitt is on that.
I'm riding the Levitt train.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I genuinely believe if it makes it past the halfway point of the fight, Jordan Levitt's winning this. I think if it's not going to make it past, and now that I'm realizing that he's going down a weight class too, he's going to have the size that Yadier typically brings into the 145 division. Yadier's so big for that division. He's not going to be that big against Jordan Levitt. He's not going to have that same size and strength advantage that he normally has. You know what? I'm switching all the way. I'm going Jordan Levitt on that one. All right. Let's move on to our next bout, our third bout of the night at 170. We have Jean-Paul Lebesognan. He is taking on Phil Rowe, as we talked about earlier, since Austin Vanderford is out. Phil Rowe is a dog, man, and that is not a guy you want to fight on short notice. All right. With that being said, Jean-Paul, JPL, is a legit fighter. His knockout on Contender Series to get this contract was fucking terrifying.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Um, I don't foresee him being able to do that to Phil Rowe.
I
I'm,
don't know much about his John Paul's grappling.
that's the question, isn't it? Because that's where Phil Rowe shines. He's a grappler. And JPL has 5 wins by submission.
Hmm.
One of those happens to be a scarf hold arm lock, which embarrassing.
It's
Ouch.
on the UFC website. It says his record is 1-0. Is that just his UFC record?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's his UFC. That's just his
Okay.
contender series record.
Okay. Uh,
But he
yeah,
fought in
man.
the LFA
Yeah.
for a while.
He's 7-1 in LFA.
Uh, it's this is I'm more up in the air about this fight than I was about the Jordan Levitt fight. Phil Rowe, if Phil Rowe has a full camp for this guy, I'm picking Phil Rowe. Just because the experience, the grappling. He's been
Yeah,
in there with all kinds of killers. He's
yeah.
beaten some killers. He knocked out Nico Price before Nico Price's chin packed his bags and left. Um,
He also came in heavy for that bout.
oh, did he?
Yeah, he missed
Dang,
he he missed weight by about 3.5 pounds.
that's hardcore. So I mean, that's something to look out for. You
Here's
know,
the grappling what made me go. If you're on the fence on this one, both of them have grappled against Cody Steele in roughly the same time frame.
uh-huh,
Phil Rowe went to decision with Cody Steele,
uh-huh.
while JPL got choked out.
Well, I mean, Cody Steele's Cody Steele. If
Cody
Cody Steele's
Steele's a
having
motherfucker.
if
Yeah,
he's having an on night, not a lot of dudes are beating him unless their name's
no,
Andrew Tackett.
yeah,
So I, it's late notice. Phil Rowe's coming off the couch. He's always training. I know. I love Phil Rowe, but like I said, I'm not going to be a fence sitter. Jean Paul had a full camp for a grappler.
for a good
He was gonna,
grappler.
yeah, he was gonna fight Austin Vanderford. If you negate the grappling, I think Jean Paul outboxes Phil Rowe,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go with Jean Paul.
Okay, George.
Yeah, doing my research for this, Phil Rowe is 1-3 in his last four, and he got magnied. Uh, John Paul, Dana White, contender series winner, and as you mentioned, that knockout was just brutal to get there. I think that his undefeated streak screams future star. Rowe does have an awkward style, but Rowe's been in the trenches. I think John Paul's athleticism is next level. Think Prime Ngannou, but way, way, way lighter. This could kind of be a passing of the torch beatdown. I think Rowe tries his lanky kicks and slips on his own sweat and gets TKO'd in round two. I think the fresh
Oh,
legs and the power are going to trump him in this fight. Um, and this is no disrespect to Phil Rowe. I just think that this kid's an up and comer. He's part of the new blood next wave, and I think unfortunately he's an obstacle in the path that he's going to be able to get over.
Yeah. All right. Also at 170, our next bout. This is going to be a good one. We have Punhale Soriano taking on Ramiz Brahimajah. I'm going with Ramiz on this one. Everything I've seen out of Ramiz is phenomenal. His UFC debut didn't go quite great for him. He got his ear exploded by Max Griffin. But since then, he's had a great run. He's lost 2 other bouts in the UFC, one to Court McGee, another to Themba Garumbo, both by unanimous decision. But he's beaten the likes of Mickey Gall with a knockout, Billy Ray Goff with a guillotine, Austin Vanderford with a guillotine. I think this kid has a very bright future, and I expect him to get it done in this one. I'm expecting another submission actually out of this one.
yeah, dude. Ramiz Brahimaj is just a virtuoso on the ground as well. And my favorite part about his ground game is he can get it there. A lot of
Yeah.
guys, you know, what's the Gracie?
Oh no.
Uh, just left,
Ice
just
cream.
got it. Yeah, ice cream. He's so good. Kron Gracie.
Yeah.
His jujitsu is Gracie jujitsu. He's so freaking amazing to watch. His
But he can't
wrestling
get
is,
it there.
yeah, his wrestling is so butt you never got to see it.
Like
Ramiz,
like
he can
Charlton
get it there.
Almeida.
exactly like Jalton Almeida.
Or Marcus
Now,
Buchecha.
yep, Punahele Serrano, he hits like a freaking Mack truck, and he's got some anti-grappling too, man. So that's, I think he's going to get Punahele tired and then take his back and finish him.
Yeah, I agree. George?
Ramiz is a submission specialist who once choked out a guy so fast it looked like magic. And Soriano is the Hawaiian puncher who's dropped bombs but lately looks more like a firework dud. I think the ground game is elite for Ramiz, but standing, he's about as stable as a Jenga tower in an earthquake. I think Soriano's power could end this quick if he keeps it upright. Soriano is moving down to welterweight, though. I think he's going to gas out harder than a vegan at a barbecue, and I think Ramiz's jiu-jitsu is the real deal, spicy enough to make Gordon Ryan jealous. Soriano swings for the fences and misses, and Bramaj pulls guard like it's a yoga class gone wrong. Bramij by submission round one. Soriano's takedown defense is suspect, and that's why I'm going that way.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Next up, women's bantamweight. We have a rematch. Nora Cornell taking on Jocelyn Edwards, and I think we're going to see a repeat. Except I think Nora Cornell might get her out of here on this one. This is an underdog special. Jocelyn Edwards previously lost to Nora Cornell in 2023, unanimous decision. And since then, she's had a good bout. She lost to Eileen Perez, and she beat Tamiris Vidal with a choke of her own. She beat Chelsea Chandler with a massive hook, and then she beat Priscilla Cachoeira with a big hook and some follow-up punches. But I haven't seen the anti-grappling I've wanted to see out of her. Her striking is phenomenal. Like she was a Thai fighter. She's got great striking, but I need more grappling out of her if she wants to get a rematch and a dub like this. Nora Canal has also got great striking, but she has some grappling to really back it up. I don't know. I'm going with Nora on that one. Will?
Yeah, smart money goes with Nora, but I never said I had smart money. I love Jocelyn Edwards, and I love her in this fight. She's been on fire lately. Like you said, she starched two girls back to back, one of which George Novo and I were live for in Kansas City.
Oof.
And that brought me out of my seat. She just absolutely, like you said, phenomenal with the striking. Um, yeah, dude. Some people just find a groove and they find their time. And I think Nora Cornell, she's what, 37, 38 years old now. Um, She's been in a lot of wars. Nora Cornell is not a woman that goes in there and backs away from a fight. She's always head first, and it's a grind. I think Jocelyn learned from their last fight, and she's grown. And yeah, I look for Jocelyn to go in there, and actually, I look for Jocelyn to go in there and get Nora out of there.
Yeah. Okay.
On
George?
my alternate slip, I'm going cornhole. But on this one, I'm saying Edwards on my main one. I think this is a rematch. It's a grudge match. And I think Edwards has been salivating with her improved striking. I think she's going to be a TKO and or decision in this one. She has been out there beating ass and taking names. And I think uh, the French woman is next on her list. So watch out. Don't keep that head on the center line because it's not going to feel bueno.
No bueno. No. No bueno. All right, next up in the men's flyweight at 125, we have Alden Correa taking on Luis Grul. I'm going with Alden Correa on this one. Luis hasn't shown us much out of the UFC. I've seen some of his other bouts outside of the UFC, and he's great. But I'm going with Alden on this one, and I will be right back, boys. Will,
Alrighty.
go ahead.
Uh, yeah, Luis Gurley, he has good striking. He's very explosive. He's very dynamic in that aspect. He just struggles to put the full game together. Um, Alden Correa, he's kind of rough around the edges, but he has a complete mixed martial arts game. I look for him to use that complete game over the 3 rounds. I don't think he has the ability to get Gurley out of there, but I think he can stay ahead of him for 15 minutes. So I'm going Correa.
Yeah, Alden Correa is the guy who looks like he could be your Uber driver, but hits like a pissed off hornet. and he takes on Louis Gurul, who's got that "I'm undefeated in bar fights" vibe. Correa is coming off of a loss that had him questioning life, while Gurul's on a streak but hasn't faced anyone who'd make headlines. This is the kind of flyweight scrap where they'll buzz around for 15 minutes and the judge will score it based on who blinked less. If Correa gets taken down, it's nap time. Gurul's ground game is sneakier than a ninja in socks. I think someone's getting submitted in a way that goes viral as the accidental pretzel. My pick, a Gurul by decision. He's got better wrestling and cardio. Corey is too hittable too early. Um, on the alternate side, though, on the alternate slip, I will say Corey is on a tear right now. And if you look at Gurul, he's 0-2 in the UFC and 5 years the senior. I know that age is just a number sometimes in the UFC. I don't think that this is necessarily that. Um, but smart money, I think, would go on Gurul.
All right. Well, next up we have Ode Osborne. He is in a rough patch right now against Alibi Idiris. Now, Alibi was a runner-up in the Ultimate Fighter. Alibi is a dog. He can win on the feet. He has big power dynamic striking, and he's a really good grappler. He comes out of Kazakhstan. Teammates with Shavkat Rachmanov. Honestly, at flyweight, he's very much a similar fighter. He's going to walk you down with that pressure. If he can get you to shoot, then he's going to take advantage of that with his top game in jiu-jitsu. If not, and you're just defensive and your back's against the fence, he's going to shoot on you and pull you down. I don't think Ode Osborne should be a flyweight. I think Ode cuts way too much weight. He's too big. And that ultimately affects his gas tank and his chin. So with a guy like Alibi who can finish it in every aspect, it's just not good. Also, Alibi's going to have cardio to go for days. Look for Ode Osborne to look rough on the scale, and look for his cardio to look sus on fight night. So I'm going to Alibi.
Yeah, if Odie comes out there and works his striking, stays behind that jab and keeps him away and gets him flustered because of the reach advantage and gets him to shoot and catches him, that's his path to success in this one. However, he is the Jamaican with flashy strikes, but he also has a suspect chin. Idris is the Kazakh wrestler who's nearly unbeaten, and he's very hungry right now. Osborne's fun to watch, man, but he loses to grapplers, and Idris is just that. He's the dark horse here. His wrestling's like a bear hug from hell. Odie's Jamaican me crazy style won't cut it against real pressure. Um, I think Osborne tries a spinning kick, whiffs, and Idris suplexes him into next week. My pick, Idris by decision or submission.
Oh,
What do you think,
okay.
Tanner? Now that you're back, we got
Uh,
we went, what did we do here? I
Ode
went,
and Idris.
yeah, I went Idris. I didn't. I think
We
Ode's
both
too
went
big.
Idris.
I don't think Ode should be a flyweight. I think he cuts too much weight and it takes his cardio and it makes his chin sus.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going with Ode.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm
He,
hoping this is his first bout at what is this? Yeah, this is his first bout at 25.
yeah, and I don't look for him to look good. I look for him to look rough. Dude, he made weight at bantamweight, looked like shit every time.
I don't know. I'm going with Ode on this one. I From what I saw at Idris with the Joseph Morales fight, I think Idris has every skill, or Ode has every skill in the book to get Idris out as well. And I just, as long as his weight cut goes well, that's a terrifying thing to have to deal with. Um, as long as that weight cut goes well for him, I expect him to get it done. But let's move on to another welterweight bout in our featured prelim. At 170, we have Chitty Bang Bang and Chukawane taking on Carlos Backzitz Liao. Uh, I can't help it, man. The lion there always has a fair amount of back knee on him, and it seems like he may be juicy a little bit. You ever get that
Man,
vibe?
yeah, I think sometimes he's just so jacked, man.
He's so jacked.
Um, at 5'11". So here's my thing: Chidi Njokuani, he might be a little bit older. It doesn't matter. 6'3", that clinch game. Carlos is just going to want to strike with him. If you don't take bang bang down, a lot of guys struggle with him. He got submitted by
Yep.
Jake Matthews. You know why? Because Jake Matthews was not about to stand in front of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for that
Smart
fight.
move.
And
Smart
Jake
move.
Matthews is a really good striker. For that, I think it's going to go. I think it's going to be one-way traffic, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang until he shuts Carlos off.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. 100%. That was where I was going with it too. I think Chitty Bang Bang is going to shut Carlos off. George?
Yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, man, his experience and his reach, man, I think is going to win this fight. Leal isn't interested in taking this fight to the ground, and that works right into Chitty's wheelhouse. If Chitty works that jab, frustrates him into crashing in and catches him, I think he's going to punch his ticket into possibly a knockout of the night. Um, I just see him hitting him with a counter. I think Chitty's reach and experience and footwork is all better than this guy's coming in. He might catch him with a baba.
All right. Next up, our first fight on the main card at middleweight 185, we have Michel Pereira taking on Zach Reese. Reese is the guy that made it so Dricus Dumas can't have more kids, right?
Yes.
I'm going with Reese. I like him after that.
There
Yeah.
goes my hero.
For me, dude, it depends on which Michel Pereira shows up. The
Yeah.
last couple of times he's been really flat. I don't know if it's because he's too big and he's having trouble making weight, but I know he's training with Sean Strickland every single day. He's been with Sean through the whole camp. I have to believe in not so much. I believe in Michel Pereira, the type of athlete he is, but you got to think Eric Nixick is going to get it right for him. You got to think Eric Nixick is laying out a plan against a guy like Zach Reese that's going to work. Zach Reese has been taken down by some guys who are not so good on the ground, and he's done some work. He's submitted some guys, and he's also been lit up by far less dynamic strikers than Michel Pereira. I think Michel, I don't want to
Michelle's
have
also stopped a way better wrestler in
way better
Andre
wrestler.
Petrovsky.
Yeah,
You
Andre
know?
Petrosky. Yeah, so all that being said, I got to go Michel Pereira. I think he's going to overwhelm Zach Reese with that movement. The pressure, I think Zach Reese is going to get tired, and I think Michel Pereira is going to put him on the fucking highlight reel, boys.
Okay, okay. Well, you're not the only one thinking that. He is a slight favorite in this at a minus 145. George?
Oh man. I want to go Reese on this, and I think I'm going to go Reese on my second slip, but smart money is going to give it to Michel Pereira. I'm
Really?
going to say that Reese is a young gun with power, but he's green as grass. And Michel Pereira is the capoeira flipping acrobat who's finally serious but still wild. Pereira's experience is huge. Pereira's the most entertaining nut job in the UFC. He flips, dances, and then chokes you out.
Oh, no.
And Reese could be cannon fodder for his highlight reel. I think Pereira does a backflip into a submission and Reese taps and then asks him for an autograph. My pick, Pereira by sub round two. Too much chaos for Reese to handle. Next!
I don't think you can call him the most entertaining one when we have both of the Walker brothers still under UFC contract.
Uh,
Sean Strickland is very entertaining, not so much in the octagon, but outside with a
That's
microphone.
fair.
That man is liable to say anything.
Johnny Walker started off his career doing exactly what Michel Pereira does. I mean, almost
it was way
identical style.
scarier.
Yeah, terrifying. And
Mm.
his brother is just as crazy, but not the same style. It's wild. Vastly different styles.
His
If you
brother
could
beat
mix them
that fat
together,
Peppa the
Oh
Pig.
my God. Yes, the Peppa the Pig. Yeah, if you could mix those two together, it'd be the perfect fighter. It really would.
Jesus,
It'd be so terrifying.
can't get anywhere near that thing.
All right, let's move on to about we talked about earlier at 170. We have Jacob Smith taking on Josiah Harrell. Uh, I I like Josiah Harrell's story. Jacob Smith is just so much scarier to me. So much scarier to me.
He's just so clean everywhere. Jacoby's
Yeah,
polished, right? Like, I forget where's his camp.
Fortis.
Fortis, yeah, dude. that Saif Saud is.
That's it right there.
Whoo-wee. There is your guy. You know what I mean? He's a multiple time coach of the year in the UFC, and especially when he does great with transplants, guys that move from gyms to his gym, and but
Yeah.
a guy that he's got from the ground up, like a Jacoby Smith, and he's in there basically playing UFC 5 with a PlayStation 5 controller. You know, he's yelling out what he wants, what he needs. Jacoby's going to execute, and Jacoby is just so talented, man. Another situation like the Juliana Miller fight. I'm rooting for Josiah Harrell for his story and the type of person he is, but I think Jacoby Smith's going to go in there and he's going to light that place on fire early.
Yeah, I agree. I again, I can't root for Josiah Harrell enough. You're gonna hear me talking about it if we do a companion with this. Whatever happens, you're gonna hear me talking about this kid. But Jacoby Smith has hit so hard, so technical, so good. George, you are muted,
I
sir.
think I'm gonna go with the experience of Jacoby. That's all I really got for this one.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our heavyweight bout. Uh, the only heavyweight fight on this main card. Is it? It's the only heavyweight fight on this card. This is our only big boy bout.
Dude, Michelle Pereira, he could be
He
a
looks like
heavyweight.
a heavyweight, yeah.
Holy shit.
Hey, if this is our only heavyweight bout, this is a great one to give us. All right. We have
Yeah.
Sergey Spivak taking on Ante Delija. We have the grappler in Spivak taking on the protege of one of my favorite fighters of all time, Mirko Krokop, in Ante Delija. Krokop, who I'm sure I've said it before on this podcast, had one of the greatest nicknames ever. Right leg hospital, left leg cemetery, because he could just flatline people, anybody with those kicks.
Except
And
Gabriel Gonzaga.
oh, all right, well, he beat him the second time they fought. We don't talk about that stanky leg, all right? I'm going Ante Delija on this one.
Yeah,
For
man.
reasons.
I think I don't think Sergey is going to be the type of athlete that's going to put Delija on his back and keep him there. Not that he doesn't have the skill, but Delija trains under Mirko Krokop, who actually had really good jiu-jitsu and really had
Yeah, just never really used it.
really good takedown defense.
Well, he used it, but not just
Yeah,
in defense.
and Ted Delija is going to come out and try to avenge that Salsa Boy loss quick. I think he's going to come out there and he's going to put it right down the pipe, right on Spivak early, because he's going to have to defend a takedown early. Spivak is going to shoot, get stuffed. When they get up, Delija is going to put those right on him. And I think it's going to be another knockout. This card is stacked for excitement.
Yeah, it really is. George?
Spivak lost to Jack Almeida. That's all I need to know. Delija.
You know, that's reasonable.
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We have a men's featherweight bout at 145. We have Dan 50K EA taking on Milky Melquizel Costa. I'm going with Melquizel on this one. The man has looked like a fucking problem and has had a hell of a resurgence. I'm going Milky all the way.
What are the odds on this one?
Let me see. Let's see. Melquizel is a favorite, minus 220.
Yep.
That's rough.
Dan's a
well,
180 dog.
I'm going to sound silly then, but I'm going Dan Ige, man. I think.
Stop going against Melquizel, bud.
I
What
think
happened to your boy Morgan Charrier?
Damn,
Round one, head kick. Dome.
that was
Done.
rough. I cannot believe.
Stop
Okay.
sleeping on Melquizel,
He
bud.
can't feel his face when he fights in.
I think Dan Ige's got the game to beat him, though. He's got great boxing and takedown defense.
I'm pretty sure you said that about Andre Feely. I'm pretty sure you said that about Lazy Boy. You said that about Juicy, and you said that about Morgan Charrier. Stop sleeping on Milky.
One of them's got to get him. I'm playing the law of averages. Go Dan Ige, and fuck you, Tanner.
George?
Dude, I really like Dan Ige. He has fought through some adversity. Guys that have reach and height on him. And I would normally go with Dan, but I'm gonna go with Milky in this. I've learned my lesson betting against the guy with that skin problem. I think that this is just a bad matchup for Dan all around. I think everywhere that he's okay, Milky's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Come
we're gonna
on,
see
Dan.
Dan get outclassed a bit in this one, and I don't know if I would say we're gonna see a finish, but be
If
prepared for
he
a war.
if he knocks out Dan Ige, I will never pick against him again.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
that's
I'm
fair.
allowed to. I
No,
don't
you're
think I'm
not.
allowed to.
Um,
I don't see a
let's.
knockout, but I could totally see him getting tapped. I
I
could
could
see him
see a
coming at
knockout.
Dan
I could
like a
see a
spider
TKO.
monkey.
Let me say that. I could see a TKO. Dan has a hell of a chin, dude. Uh, Dan's never been knocked out or TKO'd. So that would be Dan's only losses are by decision.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a stamp to your career and what you're doing.
Yeah, if
Um,
Milky finishes him by strikes, dude, that's the equivalent of getting one of them damn Infinity Stones.
yeah,
For
essentially.
sure.
Let's move on to our co-main. Another 170 bout, welterweight, that I think is going to be they're blessing us with this one. This is one that I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on as a co-main, but this is a great fight. We have Jeff Neal taking on Uros Medic. Both these boys are a problem. Uros is a hell of a striker. He put out my boy Gilbert Urbina in the first round,
Mm.
and Jeff Neal is a hell of a striker with some grappling on that. Jeff Neal, though, recently got put down by Carlos Prates in
Yeah.
his
That
last
seems
bout.
to be a trend in the welterweight division.
Yeah. But he had a split decision loss to Ian Machado Gary, who's one of those up there. Uh, and he beat Rafael dos Anjos, but it was by leg injury. But he was throwing those kicks. I'm going with Uros on this one.
Ooh, we
I can't
Yeah,
stand Gary.
man. Dude,
not many people can.
I think Jeff Neal's going to come back with a point to prove. I think that he's a way better striker than Euros Medic. I think Euros is going to get caught watching the footwork of Jeff Neal. Don't forget, Jeff Neal, just because he got bodied by Carlos Prates, doesn't mean he's not also a slick
No.
southpaw with big power. He's got big power, and this head movement's crazy good. The
Yeah, it's Mike
boxing's
Perry
really good. Yeah, that's Mike Perry, the guy who doesn't get knocked out, got
or
knocked out by
Vincente
Jeff Neal.
Luque.
Again, another guy that doesn't get knocked out. Euros Medic, like Tanner said, he is extremely talented. He's got a shot to win it. I just think Jeff Neal's the complete package on the feet, and I don't think Euros Medic has the tools to make Jeff Neal fight off his back. So give me Jeff
Another
Neal.
Fortis MMA guy, Jeff Neal
Uh huh.
is, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he's Jeff's one of those guys. If you don't have massive power, you don't want to be on the feet with him for long. Not
Mhm.
not for long. He's gonna catch you somewhere.
And he's long. He's a hell of a fighter. He's only struggled against like the elite of the elite and people with rangy striking styles like Neil Magny and Wonder Boy. He also has a victory over former welterweight champion Bilal Muhammad. So I think Jeff Neal's not a bad pick. I think this is one of those ones that's kind of, for me, it's a pick 'em. Vegas has Jeff Neal as a favorite. George, what are you thinking?
Jeff Neal, the hands of steel with sniper shots, versus Euros Medic, the Serbian finisher on a hot streak. However, Neal's ranked for a reason. I think Medic is aggressive, but Neal's a surgeon, precise and deadly. And Euros' chin is kind of questionable after that last KO loss. I think Neal dodges a haymaker, counters, and Medic sees stars like he's at a planetarium. My pick, Neal by KO in round two. Better boxing and defense. Take this one.
You're muted.
Not a bad pick. I think this is a great one, and the fans win on this one.
That's
Uh,
facts.
let's let's move on to the main event where the fans also fucking win. We have Sean Strickland taking on Anthony Hernandez at middleweight 185. Strickland's got that dog in him, man, and he's been at this for so long. Boys, Strickland made his UFC debut in 2014. 2014. He fought Bubba McDaniel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in so long. And he's went through it all, man. He's fought some of the toughest in Kamaru Usman. Went to decision with him when Usman was on his come up. The Nigerian Nightmare was starting to make waves. He beat Brendan Allen, which we've seen fight Fluffy as well, and it didn't go so well for Brendan Allen there. We've seen Sean Strickland fight people like Alex Pereira. Didn't go so well for him.
That
He
doesn't go well for anyone.
he won the belt. He was our former champion after he beat Israel Adesanya decisively. I mean, wasn't even a
Yep.
question in anybody's brain. He won that bout, and then
Yep.
he lost a close one to Dricus, won a close one to Paulo, and then lost a not so close one to Dricus. And now we're here taking on Anthony Hernandez, who I would say the only grappler that he has faced that is at the level or better than Hernandez would be Kamaru Usman. And that was years ago. That was 2017. Am I off in saying that? Do you think that's pretty accurate on that one, Will?
Yeah, that's pretty. The era of middleweight that Sean was in was very heavy striker.
Yeah.
So I would say you're right.
And even in when he fought welterweight before moving up to middleweight, he fought a lot of strikers. He fought Kamaru was the one grappler he fought. True grappler, you know. And then when he moved up to middleweight, the only true grappler he fought was Brendan Allen. Well, Jack Hermanson, but Hermanson's takedown ability isn't the same as an Usman or Fluffy Hernandez. This is a real test for Fluffy more than anything, I think. And I'm going Fluffy on it. Fluffy has passed every test that I've personally put in my head for him. And to see him choking out jiu-jitsu world champions and able to beat up,
Roman Dolidze.
Michel Pereira, Roman Dolidze, Roman Kopylov, I got to go with Fluffy on this one.
Yeah, dude, I've tossed this in my head for like all week. Like I said all the time, I don't want to fence it. If this guy comes out of this fight the winner or how he wins, he should be next for the title. I'm just going to pick a guy, and I'm also going with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Just like you said, the skill level's different from anyone Sean's ever fought against. And it's not just the skill discrepancy, it's the way Fluffy is not greedy with a position. If you're beating him to the next position, he'll get up and reset the whole thing, go back to the feet. Let us not forget that Anthony Hernandez was a kickboxer before he ever learned how to grapple, guys. It's not like he's some D1 wrestler. He didn't come off Oklahoma State mats. No, he started wrestling for MMA.
Yeah.
To do this, right? And the way that he submitted Jacare Souza, the way he manhandled Roman Dolidze, he wasn't intimidated by any of those guys' strikes. And Roman Kopylov, if you're standing in front of Roman Kopylov and he's throwing heat at you, you better be scared or you're crazy, right? Just like Roman Dolidze. I think Anthony Hernandez has that cardio that would give like a Dricus a problem. I would probably pick Anthony Hernandez against a Dricus. And Dricus used his cardio and anabolic abilities against Sean Strickland. That was his main weapon, was just that physical aspect. Where Dricus du Plessis was like a bull and he was muscling through a bunch of shit, Anthony Hernandez is going to get you to a position. He's not going to muscle you around. He's going to use a lot of technique, throw a bunch of different chokes. He's going to get to different positions, weird positions, dogfight, just wear you out, throwing that weird new school guillotine, switching to a Darce, going to a regular guillotine, and he's taking your back. He choked Roman Dolidze out with a self-defense choke. The rear naked choke that wasn't even a full self-defense, wasn't even a full
security
rear naked
choke. Yeah.
The security choke, yes, sir. Sean's a little long in the tooth. I think Sean's been focusing on other shit. He's a very polarizing figure on social media and in the public. He started to take on that role. He speaks out a lot, and I don't think he's focusing enough on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, who is probably going in there to get a title shot next.
I agree. I agree 100%. George?
Sean Strickland, the trash-talking pressure fighter who walks forward like a zombie apocalypse survivor, versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, the submission machine with underrated striking. Strickland's volume is insane, but Hernandez's ground game is killer. I think Strickland's I'm depressed and angry shtick is gold, but I think Hernandez is the sleeper here with his jiu-jitsu. I think he could twist Sean into a human knot. Strickland's title run was a little fluky, and Hernandez is peaking. I think Strickland monologues mid-fight, and Hernandez sneaks in a gilly, and Sean taps while yelling, "The therapy didn't work." Hernandez by submission in round 4. He's got the grappling edge, and Strickland's takedown defense sure ain't bulletproof.
I think it's going to be sooner than that if Hernandez gets it done. I think if it goes into the later rounds, I think Hernandez is going to start to have a problem with Strickland getting him down. I think Strickland will start to figure out his grappling style. Strickland's been in this game for so long, man.
Oh, yeah.
And
He
he's not a
understands the
slouch in
2-on-1
the grappling. So I think the longer it goes, the more it fares in his favor. I could be wrong though, you know. I'm excited for this card. I don't know about you guys.
This is going to be a great one. There's so many fights in here. What fight are you guys going to pick for fight of the night? Probably the main event, right?
No.
That Carly Judice, the first fight of the night might be a motherfucking banger, guys. You heard it here first.
I think I'm going to throw out 2.
Ugh.
All right.
Okay.
2s of them.
Okay.
I'm going to say I think the Jacob Smith and Josiah Harrell could be it. And I think Dan Ige and Melquizel Costa.
Oh, that's right. So there's so many, but then
There's
you look
so
at
many
that,
good cards.
you look at that main event,
Good fights.
and you look at all of Anthony Hernandez's fights, and they're all bangers. And you look at Sean Strickland's fights, even the ones that people are like, that's boring. It was only boring because the guy didn't get finished. Sean Strickland has finished a lot of his opponents in the UFC. Just look what he did he knocked out Brendan Allen standing up.
Yeah.
And he beat up Abus Nurmagomedov. So it's like, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun. I think we're going to do a companion. Yes. I'm down for a main card companion on this one if you boys are going to roll.
Yeah. As long as I'm free. I think we have plans, but I don't know how late they'll go. I'll talk to the lady and we'll see
Alrighty.
what we got going on. Boys, do you have anything else you would like to add in before we get out of here? Before we call it an evening?
Just go Cain Velasquez. Congratulations. Glad he's out.
Yeah.
They always should have been.
Yes. All right.
Are you muted, Novo, or are you done?
Oh, only thing I got to left add in is whenever we finally figure out what's going on with all these Epstein files, let some of these fuckers get into the cage for a punishment. I would love to see that. I'd even go back to full pay-per-view prices to see somebody get obliterated.
Yeah, if they were waiting on a Cain Velasquez in there.
Ooh.
Let's let Cain Velasquez repay his debt to society that way.
I think you're onto something there. I'm here for it.
I don't think we're famous enough to get in trouble for that yet, so now is a good time to get it out.
All right. Well,
ghetto fabulous,
thanks, guys.
baby.
Yep. See you guys.
Okay. Good.
Okay.